Hey guys, the Miho Within. This time I got a Burning Abyss deck profile for you guys. So, I think this deck is it can go against the meta pretty well. It's a pretty high tier deck, and it's pretty budget. And I also have some options for if you can't get certain cards, just to make it even more budget. And I also think that this is a very good deck if you're planning to, if you played Yu-Gi-Oh before and you just want to get back into it, and you haven't played for a while, I think this is a very good deck to use to get back into the game. It's easy to understand and to play. Alright, so going into Burning Abyss. So, all the Burning Abyss monsters are destroyed if you control a monster that isn't Burning Abyss. So they'll automatically just get destroyed if you control a non-Burning Abyss monster. But they also have the ability, if you control, if you have no spells and traps on your side of the field, you can just special summon them straight from your hand. Then they also have another effect that if they're sent to graveyard during that turn, you can activate that effect. But you can only use one or the other. So if you use the special summon with no spells and traps, then you can't use the other effect for that turn. So you gotta really be aware of which ones you choose to special summon and which ones you want to get their effects off. But yeah, so the first one is Farfa. So 3 copies of Farfa. What Farfa does is when he's sent to graveyard, you can target one monster on the field and you banish it until the end of the turn, and then the monster comes back. So he's very good. He's especially good against XYZ monsters, because when you banish them, they lose all their materials and then they come back. And you force negations, like if you use it and you target Cyber Dragon Infinity and stuff like that. So 3 Farfa. Then we have 3 Skarms. So when he's sent to graveyard during the end of the turn, you can search your deck for one Fiend type monster, one level 3 dark Fiend type monster, and add it to your hand. So the main target we usually want to get with Skarm is Tour Guide to the Underworld. And if you already have that, then just depending on the situation, you search out another Burning Abyss monster. And up next is 2 Barbar. So he's the strongest one. He's 1700 attack. His effect is when he's sent to graveyard, you can banish up to 3 Burning Abyss monsters from your graveyard, and then if you do, you inflict some burn damage. You can do a total of 900 burn damage if you do that. But the main reason I like him at 2, is because he's a beater for the late game. If you have Tour Guide, or if you have Fiendish Rhino, once we get into him, you can just special summon him, and 17 attack can help you just go for game. So yeah, 2 Barbar. And 2 Alec. So Alec, when he's sent to graveyard, you can target one monster on the field, and then you negate their effects until the end of the turn. So again, kind of like Farfa, you force negation, you put some pressure on the field. It's always good when you mill him. Then for the one-ofs, the one-of Burning Abysses we use is 1 Graph. When he's sent to graveyard, you get to special summon 1 Burning Abyss from your deck. 1 Libic. When he's sent, you can special summon one level 3 Dark Fiend type monster from your hand, but its effects are negated. The effect negation is pretty cool because if their effects are negated, that means that they won't have that part where if you control a non-Burning Abyss monster, they'll just die, they'll just get destroyed. So they'll actually stay on the field. 1 Calcab, and then his effect is when he's sent to graveyard, you target 1 set spell or trap card on the field, and then you turn that card back to the hand. 1 Sir, when he's sent to graveyard, you get to add 1 Burning Abyss monster from your graveyard back to your hand. And then the last one, 1 Rubik. He's the level 3 tuner monster of the deck. He's just there so that you can go. There's 1 synchro that we play. It's Virgil. And that's why we use him. So that's all the one-of Burning Abyss monsters. So that's it for the Burning Abyss lineup. So now for the non-Burning Abyss monsters, we have 3 Fiendish Rhinos. So what Fiendish Rhino does is Fiend-type monsters you control, except for this card, cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So that means the Burning Abyss monsters won't get destroyed by their own effects. And then on top of that, if he gets sent to graveyard, you can send 1 Fiend-type monster from your deck to the graveyard. So you can just send any of the Burning Abyss, and then you get their effects accordingly. So he's really good in this deck. So 3 Rhinos. Then we have the 1 Tour Guide. Our main search with Skarm. When she's normal summoned, you get to special summon 1 level 3 Fiend type monster, and its effects are also negated. So then we have 2 Blackluster Soldier and Void of the Beginning. So we play lights and darks, so he's easy to summon. 1 Fairy Tale Snow, since we're milling a lot. When you get snow in graveyard, she's a good disruption tool. Also, since we use the XYZ's Beatrice can send snow easily, so you get good access to disruption during the opponent's turn. Then we have 3 Rescue Cats. So Rescue Cat, pretty good. You normal summon it. You just send it from your side of the field to the graveyard. You get to special summon 2 level 3 or lower beast type monsters from your deck. So now to go into the Rescue Cat targets. Play 3 Gallus the Starbirds, Gallus the Star Beast. So what he does is that you can reveal this card in your hand, send to the graveyard the top card of your deck to the graveyard. Then if it's a monster, you inflict damage, and then you can special summon Gallus. So since our monster count is incredibly high, you're pretty much guaranteed to always special summon this guy. And then if you hit a Burning Abyss monster, he just gets effect for free. And then he's targets for Rescue Cat. And then the last one is we have Pero Cerberus. So I like him a lot. He's pretty good, especially going first turn. If you pull a Rescue Cat and then you go Gallus Pero, then you can make a Dante and then detach the Pero. That way it's in your graveyard. You get the 3 mil, and then you have more disruption during your opponent's turn, because for him, if he's in your graveyard and you take battle damage or effect damage, then you can banish him, and then you target 1 card on the field and you destroy it. So that's why I really like him. I've seen some people actually use Elephant, which you can do. You can use Elephant instead of him, and then you can. It gives you an option so that you can go into Naturia Beast. But I feel that against certain matchups, it's not like Naturia Beast is always useful, because there's a lot of decks that function that really don't need to use spells and traps. So I think the play with Dante, especially because Dante gets your deck rolling. Yeah, I much prefer going into Dante with using this guy than going Naturia Beast. So you can always just side the Elephant, that way you have access to the Naturia Beast, depending on the matchup. Up next we got the hand traps. So we have 3 effect failures for effect negation, and then 3 Ghost Ogres to be able to disrupt during your opponent's turn. So the main thing about these guys are not only do they disrupt, but they also are light attributes in the deck. So they help us go into to be able to do summon Blackluster Soldier. So if you guys, this might be the most expensive part of the main deck. So if you guys don't have access to Ghost Ogres, because I know like a playset would be like $30 for Ghost Ogres, is that you can actually you can replace the Ghost Ogres with like Kaijus, and then instead of the BLSs, the Blackluster Soldier, since you have less light monsters, so it's going to be less consistent, I would suggest probably playing Orbital Highlander. That way you have a big boss monster that can also do disruption during your opponent's turn. It's just an alternative if you find it tough to get some of these cards. So yeah, 3 effect failure, 3 Ghost Ogre. Then we have 2 Eater of Millions. I really like this card. I was thinking about adding Kaijus, but I just like how this card is just like a single card that can just be an out to so many situations, just because he doesn't target, and then he's just 1 card that's for free, and then he's just overall incredibly good. I just really like this card, Eater of Millions. You banish 5 cards from your extra deck face down to be able. It doesn't have to be from your extra deck, but it's optimal if you do. But 5 from your extra deck, special summon him. If he attacks, if he battles a monster, an opponent's monster, then you can banish the monster he's battling face down, and that's once per turn. So he's really good. So 2 Eater of Millions, and then the final card we use. So 3 copies of Sekka's Light. So you can only use this card if you have no spell and trap cards in your graveyard. And then if you meet those requirements, then you can draw 2 cards. Also, for the rest of the duel, you're not allowed to play any other spell and trap cards. And the last effect is that you can banish this card from your graveyard in order to put 1 card from your hand back into the deck to draw 1 new card. So that means if you use a Sekka's Light, to use another Sekka's Light, you have to banish the one in your graveyard before you can use the other one. But yeah, this card's insane. It's like a legal pot of duality. So yeah, 3 Sekka's Light. And that's it for the main deck. So now to go into the extra deck. So for the extra, we use 3 Dantes. He's the main guy. It's 2 level 3 monsters. So you can detach 1 material from him. You send the top 3 cards of your deck to the discard pile, and then he gains 500 attack for each one. And then also, if he attacks during the end of your battle phase, he switches over to defense position. And his very last effect is when he's sent to graveyard, you can add 1 Burning Abyss monster from your graveyard back to your hand. Then we have 1 Beatrice. So she can just you can discard 1 Burning Abyss monster when you have Dante on the field in order to just summon her on top of the Dante. And then her effect is that you can detach 1 material in order to send one monster from your deck to the graveyard. So yeah, it's a lot of disruption. You can just send Fairy Tale Snow, send a Farfa. It's pretty good. Her last one is that if she's destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon one Burning Abyss monster from your extra deck. So the 2 main targets that we play, we have Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, and then we have Virgil. So Virgil lets you discard 1 card, 1 Burning Abyss monster in order to return 1 card back to shuffle it back into the deck. And also when he's destroyed, you get to draw 1 card. Dante, you can discard a Burning Abyss in order to draw another card. And then his other one is that when he's destroyed, instead, you send 1 card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard. Overall, most of the time I like going Virgil more, but it really depends. It's just the Pilgrim has more attack, so it depends on the situation. But yeah, both of them. You can also use Rubik to be able to make Virgil. Then for the rest of the rank 3s, we play 1 Nightmare Shark for when you have to attack directly just for game. 1 Phantom Knight of Breaksword to be able to destroy mostly back row with him, or just when you need to destroy something in general. And also the cool thing about him is that you destroy, and then also he clears up your extra monster zone. That way you can make another one. That way he's not just clogging it up. 1 Stone King Darius. So he's really good because he doesn't target. When you attack, he doesn't. You can just destroy that monster that he battled with, and yeah, it's really good, especially for against Borreload. That's one of the outs to be able to get around that guy. 1 Grampulse for spells and traps. 1 Levier, the Sea Dragon, to let you special summon your banished monsters. The ones you banish off of Barbar and Fairy Tale Snow. You can do some pretty cool combos with that. And last one, 1 Acid Golem, just if you have a matchup where they play like Skill Drain or something along those lines, and you just really have to, if it means going for game, you just got to be careful with playing him. And that's it for the XYZs. Now to go into the Link monsters. 1 Underclock Taker. So this guy's really good because there's a combo that you can do with Dante that I'll go over after we finish the extra deck. So 1 Underclock Taker. 1 Nightmare Phoenix for spell and trap destruction, and then 1 Nightmare Cerberus if there's something that's problematic on your opponent's main monster zones. So that's it for the main deck. So now let's go over that Underclock Taker combo. I feel like that's probably one of the most important ones that you should know. So in order to do this one, you just need Fiendish Rhino Warrior and any Burning Abyss monster. We'll just use Farfa for this situation. So we have these 2 cards, Fiendish Rhino and Farfa. So what we're going to do is we're going to normal summon the Rhino. Then we're going to use the effect of Farfa, special summon him, since we control no spells and traps. He won't get destroyed because we have Rhino. Rhino gives him protection. So then we're going to overlay both of them, and we're going to make a Dante. Now we're going to use the effect of Dante, detach, we're going to detach the Rhino, and then we're going to send the top 3 cards of our deck to the discard pile. But it doesn't matter because it's randomized. I'm just going to go for the guaranteed play. So we mill 3 cards. It could be other Burning Abyss monsters, but the main thing, we get the effect of Rhino off. So we're going to use Rhino to send, we're going to send a Graph to graveyard. So we're going to send Graph to graveyard. His effect, send to graveyard, you get to special summon 1 Burning Abyss monster. So we special summon Sir. So now we use for links, we use Dante and Sir to make an Underclock Taker. Now the effect of Sir will activate, special summon our Dante. Also the effect of Dante will activate, and we get to add 1 Burning Abyss monster from our graveyard back to our hand. So it doesn't really matter from here. You can just add any of them. Graph, Sir, or Farfa. We'll just use Sir just for the sake. So we have Underclock Taker, and Dante's going to be on our main monster zone. Now we're going to discard the Burning Abyss we just got in order to special summon Beatrice. Right underneath the Underclock Taker. We'll put her in defense position because this is a good going first turn play. And there you go. Then we got everything set up. We got Beatrice can do 1 detach, so she can do 1 disruption. She can send 1 Farfa or Fairy Tale Snow to graveyard in order to do some disruption. When she detaches, Dante will activate. Can get you your Sir back or your Farfa so that you can keep on looping. That's one thing that you'll notice. Sir and Dante work very well together. That's the reason why Sir got limited in the ban list, is because you can just loop Sir and Dante and they just keep on going. Like, Sir gets back Dante, Dante gets back Sir. But yeah, that's I feel like that's the biggest combo, the most complicated combo that you should know that this deck can go, that this deck can do. Other than that, this deck's really cool. It's very easy to be able to bait out plays from your opponent because you have so many free plays. Basically, you don't have to really commit since you don't have to waste your normal summon. You can just if you have a lot of Burning Abyss monsters in hand, you can just use the special summoning effect and just special summon like 2 of them. They disrupt this play, and you're like, all right, I still have my normal summon. Plus, if I have another one, I can still special summon them as long as they're different names. But yeah, you just normal summon, special summon, and then you can just still go for your play. So that's why this deck is pretty cool. Like, yeah, you could like Rescue Cat, then you get the Rescue Cat, you still have Burning Abyss monsters in your hand, you can just special summon them, and then you go for a Dante. This deck is it's very good, it's really consistent. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.